let's talk about the flash crash. This is from George's website, cryptosrus.com. And I would say after reading this article, there's quite a bit of speculation in this article. And I think that really what this boils down to is everybody's trying to figure out a reason why we had this crash yesterday. And similar to what we see from Cointelegraph or CoinDesk, they're always coming up and trying to justify reasons why something happened, like a news event that can directly correlate to a price action. And there always isn't one. Sometimes it is just whales moving things around. But I think George is really trying to do what everybody's trying to do, is figure out what happened yesterday. So he came up with some reasons. He believes it could have something to do with Evergrande, actually, which we'll get into in a second. But here is Tom Hearden tweeting another flash crash in store of value. And you guys can see this chart. I mean, really when we're talking about a store of value like gold and comparing Bitcoin to it, Bitcoin certainly has way more volatility than gold does. And I think that's kind of what he's saying in this tweet, which is, look at this chart. I thought this is supposed to be a store of value. And, that's why you really got to look at Bitcoin more in terms of macro, not micro. It's not necessarily day to day.
Yeah, I saw some charts that were really roasting gold over the last year, where gold was down, I think, 1.2%, and inflation was up the highest it's been in a long time. So it's like, how is this an inflation hedge? It's not hedging anything. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, okay, we have Bitcoin reached a new all-time high yesterday. This would have had to do with inflation news, for sure. That is something that people were really, the whole other markets were having a hard time yesterday as well. There's no clear reason for the flash crash. The speculation is it may have something to do with the Evergrande news. Evergrande, big company in China, is apparently officially bankrupt rather than just bankrupt. So I'm sure there's a great chance this is what caused Bitcoin to crash 4%. Prior news-related flash crashes saw Bitcoin fall instantly. Now, we do know Elon Musk, certainly with this tweet that he had here back in May, talking about the concerns about, Bitcoin and fossil fuels and environmental stuff. You can show the screen. This tweet here that he had, and man, I mean, do we not all have PTSD from this tweet? This is the tweet that did crash the market for sure. Now, is there a bigger plan for that? I don't really know, but we do know that, Tesla and Elon Musk did play a big role in the beginning of that major crash. So we do know that there have been news-related events that have led to crashes before, but this crash probably had more to do with a lot of whale movement, just like I told you guys. There was some money made off of over-leveraging, and whales probably just wanted to feel like God again. That's what this says. Why the pullback from 68K? There was a massive increase in BTC margin futures. So, here's the long and the short of it. We don't know. No one knows why the price dropped yesterday. So it does look like whale movements would be the number one, possibility here. And, this is something that, always when we see large price action, that generally is what it has to do with. But I think that trying to pin this down to an event, a specific event, is probably going to be, not fruitful. Now, this tweet here says, KT asked, did we have a flash crash winter 2017 before going parabolic? And this says, yes, early December 2017. The parallels between 2021 and 2017 just keep getting creepier. Time will tell if these anonymous Twitter users are correct. Let's see. Definitely was a flash crash. We all know that. But let's look at the chart real quick at December of 2017.
Yeah, and a lot of times, like you're saying, it can be a variety of things, a combination of different events happening in different places. There's people in here talking about, wanting to clear out leveraged longs. We see that a lot where we get a quick crash, especially on specific exchanges, to wipe out leverage longs before a big move up. That could be playing a small role in this. But like you said, trying to pin it all to one thing is probably going to be fruitless in this scenario.
Yeah. Well, you can see here, in the beginning of December, on the weekly chart, it doesn't even show a correction. But if you go to the daily chart here, what year am I in? What year is, it took me all the way back here. Let's go. Let's go on a trip. 2020, golly. December 2019. God, I'm reliving all my bad memories now. Okay. Okay, so let's see on the daily chart what it did in the beginning of December. Yeah, you guys can see there was a really big flash crash. There's actually two here. So when you look here, you see a giant flash crash right here where it wicked up. And then you also see right before Bitcoin hit all-time highs of $20,000, basically a week before we had a giant crash. This would have been a 24% crash in 2 days.
Wow.
But, the thing is, and then it actually, it took a whole week to recover. So there's your hopium there. And then it did still march to all-time highs. So, and then in November, we also had a pretty big crash in the middle of November as well. So, nothing to be too concerned about here, in my opinion. So.